Hello everyone, this is UC from iTradePrice. Uh, I thought it would be nice to make a sort of a midweek video since we have had a lot of market action. So it's just, nice to kind of give you a little update of what's going on. So here's a chart of Q in the weekly time frame, right? Our bias has been on the short side, on the sell on strength side, all along since maybe 4 or 5 weeks now, right? And the majority of it actually started when this whole price structure kind of broke down, right? And then we got this bullish bar with the top wick, no follow through to the downside, right? So that was a big tell in itself. And since then, we've just been in a sort of a downtrend, right? Making lower lows and lower highs. This bearish bar was a tell. No bullish trend bars, even the bullish bars that were coming up, they were not really seeing any aggressive follow through to the upside. Instead, they were seeing all these top wicks, right? So that was a tell that it's still weak. And since the past 4 weeks, we are in a series of lower highs, right? Right here, over here, and over here, and lower lows. So that's just a series of lower swing highs and lower swing lows. So that means you're technically in a downtrend, right? So, uh, and I don't know why people want to buy the dips. This is not the buy the dip market. The sentiment is not there, right? Buy the dip market, this is what it looks like, right? This is not buy the dip market. It's sell the strength market right now, right? So what should you be looking for? What kind of plays should you be looking for? This is a weekly time frame, but even in a lower time frame, right? Look for trend lines, look for the price to come to the trend line top and then short it right there like that, right? So that's the sort of the price action you need to read. So you have these strong bearish bars with just, tiny bullish days, little gap ups, and that's about it. The strong forces towards the downside. And now we broke through this 334 support, pretty heavy. Let's go to a monthly view, right? Even if we want to, pretty brutal. And I don't think we have hit the bottom right now. I think maybe we see some bounce right here around 324 area, right? But the real bounce could be around 316 to 310, in my opinion. I think that's where the market wants to go long term or medium term, sorry. And that's where we'll see some bounce coming in. By the time it would get there, it would be the end of this current month. So you still have about a few trading days left in this month. So we'll see how that goes. But it just technically looks like it wants to go there. So Tesla, right? That was the name we played and traded today all day long. And you can tell, here's the chart, right? This was the long-term uptrend line that it broke down from previously, right? And then it quickly snapped back up, gave a good follow through, and then it just kept on banging against this 947, 944 level, 947 to 953, couldn't really break out of that. And then it just kind of rolled over and touched this trend line once again right there, made a lower high compared to this one, right? So that's the price action read that you need to kind of evaluate. And then it just rolled over, right? And it never saw a move back up. And then today it just it just kind of broke down, right? So that's a tell that it was weak and it was just sort of rolling over. Let's go into a weekly time frame. Yeah, I mean it can give some bounce here because this area was resistance and now we're back at 763. After hours we're at 756, so who knows where we open, but then below this we have 713 as the major support. But we can see some bounce. We'll see how that goes, but again, that doesn't mean you hold that bounce long unless we are above, let's say 856. Yes, I'll feel more bullish, but we have to get above this downtrend line and then eventually take out this 950 as of this price structure right now. Unless or until that happens, it's more of a short the strength type price action. And if I take you to like a 2-minute time frame, lower time frame, so you have to recognize these levels, start learning these levels, and that will that will give you more confidence in the intraday plays, or if you're in a short position to hold it, or just going to see what's going on in that price. So why did we short here in the morning, right? That was one of the questions that came. So the reason was simple. Where was the, okay, I think it was, let me go to the other chart. That was that one right there. So that's the mini channel that I had made, right? So if I drill down to a lower time frame right here, you can see shorted in the morning because the price was a down trend line, and the first 5-minute bar did not see any upside follow through above this 836 level, right? It just got stuck there above this down trend line. It did not go. The next 5-minute bar was sort of a bearish bar, but with a little bit of bottom break, and then this just fell down, right? 1-minute chart, if I look at that 1-minute view, this is the kind of a price action that you kind of look for it to break down from, right? So this is it. This was sort of a bear flag, and then we just kept on going down, and then you can look at this one right here, something like that. Try to short it towards the higher end of this channel, like right here. That way your risk will be minimal. If you're playing this one, it can still give you a bounce, but today the market was, pretty much in a giving mode, and it kept breaking one thing after the other. So that was good. Quickly, let's take a look at Amazon daily view. Okay, big bearish bar there as well. Gave up this sort of a channel, gave up down below this 29.50. If I go to my other chart with more channels, here's sort of a mini channel that it's making. This is an hourly view, and you can see all the bearish bars, right? There is no follow through to the upside to any bullish bar. So that means any chance that market sees that buyers have stepped in, they see it as an opportunity to sell the strength, and that's exactly what's happening. And it's making lower lows, right? So now if it goes back up here towards 29.47, maybe 29.80, that's where the next wave of sellers can come in and take it towards the downside, right? This is not really a bounce market, right? If it would bounce, the chances of you trying to make money off of a bounce will be less, because the bounce will not last long. So if you want to be stuck, you want to be stuck in a short position rather than in a long play right now, the way market is and everything else. So right now, let's look at NQ. This is futures chart. It's still moving. So we are at close to the bottom channel support line here, 13,356 to 13,466. Think we can see some bounce from there. I usually scalp futures. I don't really hold these things for long, because kind of we try to get in a higher position size and just kind of scalp at a key level, right? So a lot of patterns here to play, You can identify those patterns by, I don't know, you can just always go to Google, try to see what kind of price patterns are there. But if you're looking for some organized way of learning all of this, the price action course that we have, that I've developed, and Annie has also her input in as well, kind of combines everything together in a nice way, and also tells you how to come up with these key price levels, and then just how to read price. But our everyday commentary, our everyday notes and responses to you kind of reflect that. So if you're getting that from there, that's good. But if you want some formal learning, that might be a place for you to go. Okay, now let's take a look at a couple of more. Let's look at NVIDIA. I know, some people like to play that. Let's look at a cleaner chart. Let's go look at a daily time frame. Again, the tell was that after earnings, it wasn't seeing any follow through to the upside, right? This was the earnings jump right here. Got rejected from this downtrend line. Since then, lower highs, lower lows, no bullish bar, and eventually today it broke down below this sort of a mini uptrend line. So the next level down, the next structure support is right here, something like that. We'll see what happens, but maybe we see something like that move. Again, somebody was asking me about double bottom, right? So the double bottom, yes, if the price comes here, right, that can be a double bottom, but that is not a double bottom confirmation unless or until it gets above this level right here, right? That would be sort of confirmation, because what if like the way you or somebody was asking, where this is a double bottom, what if it does like that? Then this is not a double bottom, right? It was just a temporary bounce, and you can't call it a double bottom. That's just not a terminology uh, that you want to use or rely on for that matter. Okay, maybe one more chart. Let's do Apple, right? That's just a kind of a name that everybody likes to follow and see what's going on. So overall chart still better than the others, but of course breaking down, right? The structure low from the price action perspective comes in around 157 to 155, right? This area. If it goes below, we have this uptrend line. Could be a nice bounce from there. So look for that kind of move. But as long as it stays below 167, we're in a sort of a bear territory here. Let's look at one more square. Oh my God, I really want to. So tempted to get in this name, but I don't know. Annie has been telling me not to do that, but it just looks attractive at this level. I don't know, for some reason, but I know I've burnt before trying to, time the bottom. That's not something that lasts you long term. But I don't know. It's just maybe with small time position, because this was resistance on the way up, right? And then it broke out above that right here, went all the way up, and now we're already kind of approaching that level with earnings coming up. Who knows what will happen? But technically speaking, it's just a good level here around 84, for a little bounce play kind of a thing. We'll see what happens. But tomorrow's earnings, I think, after close, if it drops hard, I think 61 is the next major level. But it could be worth a shot here, because when, let's say, if earnings come out really nice and it bounces from 84, nobody remembers that earnings were here and that's why we saw a bounce. Everybody who will be evaluating the chart, historically speaking, when we are in the future, they'll be like, oh wow, see, this was a resistance and we bounced hard from here. They don't really know at that time if it was earnings or what, but just technically speaking, they will evaluate the chart like that. Let's say, hey, yeah, we saw a bounce because this was resistance and now it became support. So from that perspective, it's just maybe a lot of play kind of a thing that we can do tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. All right, guys. Have a good rest of your evening. We'll talk soon. Thank you and take care.